Welcome back to Super Recaps. Today I will show a thriller and action movie from 2020 called Run, Hide, Fight. Watch out for spoilers ahead. The movie starts with Zoe and her father, Todd, out on a hunting trip. Her father is teaching her how to use a rifle and hunt. Later, they're having breakfast, where Zoe imagines talking to her late mother, as she still hasn't gotten over her death. Her friend, Lewis, then enters the house to take Zoe out and save her from her dad's rambling. They are taunted and pushed off the road by local bullies. The car has trouble starting, and they notice one of their classmates setting up a gadget on the field. But they just assume it's a part of the upcoming senior prank day. Lewis asks Zoe if she wants to go to her locker, but since she's already late for class, she says she'll check it later. She attends 2 classes, then walks to her locker and discovers that Lewis has asked her to prom. The earlier gadget explodes, causing setting fire to the field, and just before the lunch break, a boy named Kip puts a bag near the reception desk. Lewis and Zoe discuss the prom invitation, which Zoe declines. Lewis unintentionally spills his drink on her, forcing Zoe to use the restroom to clean herself. Meanwhile, a wooden cabin bursts into flames and a girl rushes out of the restroom and runs into Zoe. Zoe inspects the ceiling panel of the toilet, and we see a gun mark has been left in the dust. Jennifer, her late mother, is chatting to her about her recent anger issues. Suddenly, a van smashes into the building, and 3 of their classmates enter the cafeteria, shooting 3 students and stabbing the PE teacher. One injured student enters the bathroom to hide but dies in Zoe's arms. Tristan delivers a speech about him being the new authority and confronts one of his bullies. But Chris also shoots the bully. Just as Kip enters the bathroom, Zoe rushes and hides in the ceiling panel. Tristan instructs a girl to contact her mother and inform her of the situation. Then he instructs everyone to do the same, calling anybody they want and telling them whatever they want, so Lewis leaves a message for his mother. Shortly, Zoe falls in the kitchen as the ceiling collapses beneath her. Chris goes there to find out who made the noise. Zoe hides behind the counter with a lunch lady. The lady decides to sacrifice herself to save Zoe. Because the town's police and fire departments are swamped with fires all throughout town, they are responding to calls slower than usual. Tristan contacts the school's receptionist and informs her that they have taken over the lunch hall. In the custodial room, Anna, the 4th shooter, cuts the cables. Tristan demands that everyone grab their phones and live stream the events on any social media platform they use. Zoe flees the building and informs the other students about what transpired inside. Tristan warns live stream viewers that he will kill even more pupils if any social media outlet disables the stream. The vice principal enters the hall and attempts to speak with Tristan, trying to persuade Tristan to abandon his crazy plans, but Tristan believes he was harsh to him and didn't care about him earlier. He instructs Chris to assassinate the principal. Chris spares the life of the school guard because he isn't relevant enough. Cora and Zoe attempt to warn the students, but the students believe it is just a harmless prank. Tristan inquires who has the most views, and Lewis has over 1,000, so he tells Lewis to be his primary cameraman. Meanwhile, Zoe manages to evacuate a classroom of children by breaking a window. Andrew is streaming when he notices the van they arrived in is loaded with bombs. Zoe activates the fire alarm, and the professors begin to clear their classrooms. However, Anna disables the alarm, leading the teachers to believe it was a joke and ordering the pupils back to their classrooms. On the other hand, Sheriff Tarsi is having difficulty getting to the school and instructs his colleagues to only enter if there is an active shooting situation. However, if it is a hostage situation, they should try to talk with the shooters. Anna then switches off the power of the whole school. Zoe goes around trying to warn as many students as she can, but she stumbles on the oil-splattered floor. Just as the reception announces the lockdown, the bag Kip had left earlier blows up. Tristan watches the news and is irritated when the channels send reporters instead of showing his live stream. Zoe tries to find her phone, but Anna enters the room, so Zoe lays down and pretends to be dead. Anna videotapes stomping on Zoe's hand, but Zoe manages to mask her pain and Anna eventually walks away. Kip alerts Tristan to a television channel warning viewers of graphic content, implying that their live stream may be aired. As the lockdown commences because the shooters wanted to keep everyone in their place, Zoe tries to urge one of the teachers to smash the windows and escape. Anna sees her and shoots her on the leg from a distance. Zoe then opens a locker and uses it as a shield. When Tristan enters a classroom, Ms. Nunez tries to reason with him, but Tristan humiliates her and forces her to remove her clothes. Zoe flees to a balloon-filled room and Anna follows and attempts to shoot her down, but Zoe turns the gun and shoots her in the head instead. Tristan is about to kill the nude Ms. Nunez when Lewis informs him that the viewers are interested in him and have questions for him. Tristan is a narcissist. Therefore, he can't help himself and redirects his focus to the audience. Zoe examines Anna's body and removes her keys. The gun is empty because she shot her with the last bullet. She also takes her phone, so she can now hear what the shooters are saying through the live stream. The police head to Tristan's mother, but they discover she committed suicide while watching the shooting live. Todd is butchering the deer Zoe shot earlier when he learns of the shooting. After hearing the news about police officers being prepared to attack, Chris begins firing at the policemen outside. Tristan directs everyone to the cafeteria from the classroom. Chris starts hallucinating, but Tristan helps him. Kip blasts another door, and Zoe is about to assault him from behind when Anna's phone lights up. She flees, but Kip follows her. This is when Kip discovers Anna's body, and when he slips on the oil, Zoe smashes him in the head with a fire extinguisher, shackles him to a chair, and begins fantasizing about her mother again. Kip wakes up and says that Tristan calls this a reckoning. He tries to excuse what he did by telling her about how others mistreated him, but Zoe isn't buying it. She silences him and attempts to evoke his humanity by telling him how that innocent girl died in her arms this morning. She abandons him after grabbing his shotgun shells. Todd arrives on the scene, and Zoe locates a group of students. Zoe phones the sheriff and warns him about the group fleeing the building. So then the sheriff instructs the reporter not to show the school on television so the shooters don't find out about the escaping students. He tells the reporters to air his conversation with Tristan instead. Zoe instructs the others to escape, but Mr. S. Crawford remains behind Zoe to save more students. Tarzi and Tristan talk on the phone about how edgy he is and how society has wrecked everything and ruined his life. After he hangs up, the news shows a student who has just escaped, resulting in Tristan finding out that the call was just to distract him from the escaping students. Tristan calls Anna and Kip again, but this time Zoe answers and tells him she killed Anna and kidnapped Kip. Tristan shoots one of the pupils and tells her to come into the hall or someone will die every 5 minutes. Todd watches all this live and decides to search for a suitable location to position his sniper. Zoe returns to Kip and persuades him to redeem himself and do something positive before it's too late. She releases him from his restraints and hands him the gun. Todd finds a suitable location and prepares his rifle. Zoe enters the lunch hall unarmed, and Tristan mocks her for trying to be the hero. Kip then enters the room and threatens them, but Chris kills him quickly. Zoe and Lewis manage to flee, but because Lewis was shot, he can't go any farther. She lays him down on a couch and kisses him. He then tells her about the explosives in the van. Todd adjusts his sniper while Zoe opens the hydrogen taps in the science lab and lights it on fire to scare Chris. He starts to talk about his delusions and made-up scenarios when Zoe throws acid on his face. When he's about to kill Zoe, Todd kills Chris with his sniper. But he gets arrested by the SWAT team. Meanwhile, Tristan becomes increasingly irritated when Chris does not respond to his calls. Then Zoe sends him a picture of Chris' dead body and mocks him. Tristan gets an explosive from the van and instructs a student to carry it as they stroll down the corridor, but Zoe notices them from behind and runs to the hall. She orders the remaining kids to leave. She inspects the van and notices that there are just 44 seconds till the detonation, so she drives the van outside, where it explodes without injuring anyone. The SWAT team begins their charge and is about to capture Zoe when someone blows up behind them. The cop ties her hands together and she begins to scream as her mother walks away in her hallucination. Sheriff Tarsi shows his appreciation to her and she begs for a favor in exchange, which is to allow her to speak with her father. While she is having a private moment with Todd, she notices Tristan escaping the area in disguise. She asks her father where his rifle is, and he replies it's in the same place he left it. She takes it and pursues Tristan. He takes a box beneath a bridge containing money, keys, and a passport. Zoe points her weapon toward him and fires. She insults him one more time before leaving him to choke in his own blood. Thanks for watching. To support the channel, make sure to subscribe and hit the like button and press the bell icon to get new video updates.